Let's get straight to the point. Number 8. The Bacterial Metropolis Construction Project. Look at you sitting there thinking your mouth is clean because you can taste mint from that half-hearted brush job this morning. You probably swished some blue liquid around for 10 seconds and called it oral hygiene. Meanwhile, you're hosting a thriving civilization of 20 billion bacteria who are actively building high-rise condominiums on your teeth. Wrong. Here's the deal. Your mouth isn't just a little dirty, it's a bustling bacterial metropolis with over 700 different species of microorganisms. These aren't just randomly floating around either. They're organized into complex communities called biofilms, which are essentially bacterial cities with their own infrastructure, communication networks, and waste management systems. Scientists call this process microbial succession, where pioneer bacteria like Streptococcus mutans attach to your tooth enamel and secrete sticky polysaccharide matrices, basically bacterial cement. These early colonizers then send out chemical signals through quorum sensing to attract secondary colonizers like Porphyromonas gingivalis. Within hours, you've got a thriving bacterial ecosystem producing volatile sulfur compounds like hydrogen sulfide and methyl mercaptan, the same chemicals that make sewage and rotting eggs smell so delightful. Here's the scary part. These bacterial cities double their population every few hours when left undisturbed. The anaerobic bacteria living in oxygen-free zones produce acids that dissolve your enamel and toxins that trigger chronic inflammation. It gets worse because mature biofilms become up to 1,000 times more resistant to antimicrobials, making them nearly impossible to eliminate with just mouthwash. Your mouth is basically hosting a microscopic Las Vegas where the casinos never close, the guests never leave, and they're literally eating the building while they party. Every tooth is a skyscraper being slowly dissolved by its own tenants. Stop pretending a quick brush is urban planning. Floss, scrape, and disrupt these bacterial construction sites before they turn your mouth into a condemned slum. Number 7. The Tongue Shag Carpet Nightmare. Admit it, you haven't looked at your tongue in weeks, have you? You just assume it's fine because it's hidden away where you don't have to think about it. Meanwhile, that pink muscle in your mouth is currently wearing a thick, fuzzy sweater made of dead cells, food debris, and bacterial slime. Here's the truth. Your tongue isn't smooth. It's covered in thousands of tiny projections called papillae that create a carpet-like surface perfect for trapping everything that enters your mouth. That white, yellow, or brown coating you're pretending not to notice? That's called lingua villosa, a biofilm layer of dead epithelial cells, mucus, bacteria, and rotting food particles. This coating creates the perfect environment for anaerobic bacteria that thrive without oxygen. These bacteria break down proteins from dead cells and food debris, producing putrescine and cadaverine, compounds that smell exactly like their names suggest, rotting flesh. Studies show that tongue coating is the primary source of halitosis because these bacteria are literally manufacturing death-scented chemicals on your taste buds. The keratin proteins in dead cells accumulate and can even elongate your papillae, creating a condition called hairy tongue. Here's the scary part. This bacterial carpet doesn't just cause breath that could strip paint. It actively blocks your taste buds, dulling your ability to taste food. It gets worse because the bacteria can migrate from your tongue to reinfect your teeth and gums even after brushing, creating a constant reservoir of oral pathogens. Your tongue right now looks like a bathroom mat from a truck stop that's been soaking in warm soup for 6 months. Every time you talk, you're waving a moldy carpet at people's faces. Get a tongue scraper and remove that biological shag rug from your mouth. It costs $5 and prevents you from looking like you're growing moss in your face. Number 6. The Plaque Concrete Factory. You think that smooth feeling after brushing means clean, don't you? Meanwhile, you've got construction crews of bacteria working around the clock to build permanent structures on your teeth using your own saliva as cement. That yellow crust your dentist scrapes off? You literally helped bacteria build that. Here's the deal. Plaque isn't just a bit of buildup, it's a sophisticated biofilm construction project. Within hours of brushing, pioneer bacteria attach to the acquired pellicle routine layer from your saliva, and begin secreting sticky extracellular polymeric substances. These create a protective matrix that allows bacteria to build upward and outward in organized layers. Scientists studying biofilm maturation have discovered that this isn't random growth, it's coordinated urban planning. Early colonizers like Streptococcus sanguis create the foundation, then recruit more aggressive species through chemical signaling. Within 24-48 hours, minerals from your saliva, primarily calcium phosphate, begin crystallizing in this biofilm, creating calculus or tartar. This is essentially fossilized bacterial waste that becomes harder than concrete and impossible to remove with brushing. Here's the scary part. This calcified biofilm creates rough surfaces that trap even more bacteria and food debris, accelerating the process exponentially. The bacteria in mature plaque produce collagenase and hyaluronidase enzymes that actively destroy your gum tissue and the connective fibers holding your teeth in place. It gets worse because tartar acts like a physical wedge, pushing your gums away from your teeth and creating deep pockets where more aggressive bacteria can hide. You're basically letting squatters build a fortified compound on your teeth, then watching them slowly demolish your entire mouth from their concrete bunkers. Your teeth are under siege by an enemy you're feeding and housing. Brush for 2 full minutes. Floss daily, and get professional cleanings before your mouth becomes a bacterial construction zone with permanent residence. Number 5. The gingival trench warfare. Look at you brushing your teeth like you're polishing trophies while completely ignoring your gums. Then you act shocked when your toothbrush comes away looking like a crime scene. Oh, they just bleed sometimes. No, that's your body screaming that you're losing a war. Wrong. Bleeding gums aren't quirky. They're a distress signal. You've allowed bacterial armies to invade the gingival sulcus, the space between your teeth and gums, where they're conducting biological warfare against your own tissue. This isn't just inflammation, it's active destruction. The bacteria release endotoxins that trigger your immune system to send neutrophils and macrophages to fight the infection. But here's the twisted part. Your immune system produces collagenase and matrix metalloproteinases to destroy connective tissue so white blood cells can reach the bacteria. Scientists call this periodontal disease, but it's really your body destroying itself to fight an infection you could prevent with floss. Here's the scary part. As the periodontal ligament fibers break down, your gums recede and alveolar bone begins to dissolve through osteoclastic activity. This isn't reversible. Once bone is gone, it's gone forever. It gets worse because the bacteria create deeper periodontal pockets where anaerobic species thrive, producing more toxins and accelerating tissue destruction. Research shows these same bacteria enter your bloodstream through ulcerated gum tissue, contributing to atherosclerosis and systemic inflammation. Your gum line is like a crumbling seawall being eaten away by a toxic ocean. Every time you skip flossing, another wave crashes in, pulling more of your foundation into the abyss. Pick up floss and use it daily. Get between the teeth and under the gum line like an adult who wants to keep their teeth past age 50. Number 4. The tonsil stone quarry. You've probably coughed up something small, white, and horrifically smelly before, haven't you? Maybe you poked it, smelled it, immediately regretted having a nose, then pretended it never happened. Well, congratulations. Your throat is operating a full-time factory producing biological stink bombs. Here's the truth. Your tonsils aren't smooth surfaces. They're covered in tonsillar crypts, deep pockets and crevices designed to trap pathogens. But these pockets also trap food particles, dead cells, mucus, and bacteria. Over time, this debris calcifies with calcium and other minerals from your saliva, forming tonsilloliths or tonsil stones. These aren't just harmless deposits. Scientists have found that tonsil stones contain concentrated colonies of anaerobic bacteria, including Fusobacterium, Prevotella, and Streptococcus species. These bacteria produce volatile sulfur compounds in concentrations that would make a sewage plant jealous. The stones act as bacterial incubators, continuously releasing hydrogen sulfide, methyl mercaptan, and other compounds that smell like rotting eggs mixed with death. Here's the scary part. Large tonsil stones can cause chronic throat discomfort, difficulty swallowing, and persistent bad breath that doesn't respond to normal oral hygiene. It gets worse because the constant bacterial presence can lead to chronic tonsillitis and recurring throat infections. Some people develop crypts so deep they produce stones continuously, creating an endless cycle of throat-based biological warfare. Your tonsils are basically operating a cheese factory, where the cheese is made from dead cells, bacteria, and calcium deposits, and it smells like something crawled into a sewer to die. You're walking around with biological weapons lodged in your neck. Gargle with salt water, use a water flosser on low pressure, or see a doctor about removal if it's chronic. Stop hosting a stink bomb manufacturing facility in your throat. Number 3. The acid reflux rust factory. You pop antacids like candy, chug spicy food and late-night garbage, then lie down flat and wonder why your teeth are becoming translucent and sensitive. It's just heartburn. No, it's hydrochloric acid from your stomach sandblasting your teeth from the inside out. Here's the deal. Gastroesophageal reflux doesn't just burn your chest, it sends stomach acid with a pH as low as 1-2 straight into your mouth. This is way more acidic than any soda you've ever consumed. Studies show that chronic reflux causes intrinsic dental erosion, dissolving enamel from the inside surfaces of your teeth where you can't even see the damage happening. The acid contains not just hydrochloric acid, but also pepsin and bile acids that actively digest organic material, including your tooth enamel. Unlike external acid from food, this comes from your own gastric contents and can bathe your teeth repeatedly throughout the night during silent reflux. Research shows this dissolves the hydroxyapatite crystals in enamel, creating dentin hypersensitivity and making your teeth prone to fracture. Here's the scary part. You might not even feel the classic burning sensation with silent reflux, but your teeth are still being dissolved in acid microdoses over months or years. It gets worse because once enamel is gone, there's no regenerating it, you're looking at expensive restorative work because you treated your esophagus like a lava slide. Your teeth are basically metal tools being left in acid rain every night. They're slowly corroding, softening, and losing structural integrity while you snore through the chemical warfare. Stop eating garbage before bed, elevate your head when sleeping, and treat your digestive system like it's connected to the rest of your body. Because it is. Number 2. The nighttime bacterial rave. Look at you going to bed without water nearby, breathing through your mouth like a broken air conditioner, then waking up shocked that your breath could knock a buzzard off a garbage truck. That wasn't just sleep. That was an 8-hour bacterial festival with your mouth as the venue. Here's the truth. When you sleep, your salivary flow rate drops to almost nothing. Saliva isn't just spit, it's your mouth's entire defense system. It neutralizes acids, washes away food debris, and provides antimicrobial peptides and immunoglobulins that keep bacterial populations in check. When your mouth dries out, you've basically shut off security at the bacterial nightclub. Scientists call this nocturnal xerostomia, and it creates perfect conditions for anaerobic bacteria to multiply exponentially. Without saliva's buffering capacity, your mouth's pH drops, allowing acid-producing bacteria to thrive. Studies show that proteolytic bacteria go wild during dry mouth episodes, breaking down proteins from dead cells and leftover food into volatile sulfur compounds and putrescine. Here's the scary part. Chronic dry mouth accelerates tooth decay, causes oral mucosa irritation, and increases risk of oral candidiasis. It gets worse because mouth breathing compounds the problem by evaporating what little saliva you do produce. Long-term, this constant dryness permanently alters your oral microbiome, making it harder to restore healthy bacterial balance. Your mouth at night becomes a stagnant swamp where the worst bacteria throw an unsupervised party for 8 hours straight. In the morning, you're opening that swamp and breathing it at everyone you meet. Drink water, breathe through your nose, fix your snoring, and stop turning your mouth into a bacterial desert every night. Number 1. The bloodstream highway to hell. You really think your mouth problems stay in your mouth, don't you? like your oral cavity exists in some separate dimension from the rest of your body. Meanwhile, every time your gums bleed, from brushing, flossing, or just existing, you're opening express lanes for bacteria to tour your entire circulatory system. Here's the brutal reality. Your mouth isn't isolated from your body. It's the front door to your bloodstream. Every bleeding gum creates a portal for bacteremia, where oral pathogens enter your circulation and travel everywhere your blood goes. Studies show that routine brushing in people with gum disease releases Porphyromonas gingivalis, Aggregatibacter actinomycetem comitans, and other oral bacteria directly into the bloodstream. These bacteria don't just take a quick tour and leave. Research has found oral pathogens in atherosclerotic plaques in coronary arteries, contributing to heart disease. The endotoxins and inflammatory mediators from oral bacteria trigger systemic inflammation, increasing C-reactive protein levels and other markers linked to cardiovascular disease, stroke, diabetes complications, adverse pregnancy outcomes, and even Alzheimer's disease progression. Here's the terrifying part. Your immune system becomes chronically activated, leading to low-grade systemic inflammation, the kind associated with accelerated aging and virtually every degenerative disease you're afraid of Googling. It gets worse, because oral bacteria can seed infections in prosthetic joints, heart valves, and other vulnerable tissues. Statistical studies show that severe periodontal disease correlates with higher all-cause mortality. Your rotting mouth might literally be shortening your life. Your mouth is an open sewer with direct access to your body's highway system. You're letting infectious sludge drip straight into your bloodstream, then wondering why your entire system breaks down. Treat your oral health like it affects your entire body, because it does. Fix the infections, stop the bleeding, eliminate the bacteria, or keep pretending your mouth is a separate planet. All right, you walking bacterial theme parks. That's the list. Now that you know your mouth is a festering, acid-soaked, bacteria-infested portal to systemic disease, do something productive for once. Smash that like button because I just saved you from expensive dental work and possibly a heart attack. Hit subscribe because you clearly need someone to shame you into basic survival habits. Share this with someone whose breath could be classified as a biological weapon. I'm Sticky from Coolest Dudes, and I'll see you next time.